Also doesn't really dry down that much, but you can touch it. Okay, you can't touch it, and it was pretty much why I picked it up, which just goes to show that social media marketing works. I think it's called Demi Matte, is it? Oh my god, I've put way too much on. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna do a bit of a different video. I wasn't too sure what to film this week. I haven't got any new makeup products, so I thought I'd just talk about some of the ones that I have used before and what I thought of them and what I could possibly recommend to you guys. As you can probably tell by the title, I am going to be talking about foundations. Haven't actually decided what I'm going to call this video yet, but I know it's going to be about foundations because I've just collected a lot of them over time and I thought it'd be good to compare them. So I'm going to start with the ones that I think are like very overrated maybe, and I don't have any like huge brands, but ones that I just have found a lot of good reviews on and found a lot of people getting on with them, and I personally haven't really got on with them, which is usually strange because I don't have particularly difficult skin. Like, it's not like it doesn't break out, it's not that dry. Like sometimes it can get a bit dry, and also it's a bit oily in the morning, but other than that it's not like crazy difficult. Like, it's not really oily, it's not really dry, so for me I feel like that should mean that I get on with foundations easier. So these are just ones that I haven't really got on with, even though I don't have particularly troublesome skin. So sadly, a lot of these are actually Revolution foundations. I really like Revolution and almost all of their products they bring out, but for some reason I just really can't get on with their foundations. Like, I don't know what it is about them, but I just feel like they bring out so much texture in my skin and they're just not that long wearing for me. So the one I most recently tried is the XX Revolution, like the glowy formula foundation. I think it's called Foundation. I got this in F4.5 and I just found that it just really wasn't very long wearing. You really had to powder it down, which I don't really mind doing usually, but even after powdering it down, it still doesn't last that long, I find. Like, when I was applying it in my testing video, I literally just like knocked my like forehead and it took off like a whole chunk of the foundation, which I don't think would normally happen with other foundations. I've just rubbed it into my palm there. It looks way too light on my hand, but my hand is actually darker than my face, as you can see. Yeah, I just feel like it just brings out some texture that you can't otherwise see. Like, obviously you can see my hairs underneath it and stuff. And I don't know if it's because I normally am testing Revolution foundations under the like softbox light, but I don't know, I just feel like they really bring out texture and like lines in my face, like particularly my forehead. I get like one really prominent line on the top of my forehead, and then like on my mouth, and obviously under my eyes. And then another one of theirs that I didn't love is the Conceal and Define foundation, and this one I also didn't love the fact that it had like a giant doe foot applicator. I thought that was a strange choice. I think it was more of a gimmick because they did a Conceal and Define concealer first, and then this was kind of supposed to be like a spin-off of that, but like a foundation, so it's kind of like a giant concealer, which I like the idea of. I thought it was quite cute, but not the easiest to apply. This one has more of like a lighter texture, like it's not quite as heavy, and it seems to like blend way easier. Doesn't sink into creases as much, I don't think, not by the looks of it on my hand anyway. This one is a lot lighter shade wise. So that is the Conceal and Define foundation. Where am I? Here, in shade F3, and as you can probably tell, that's a bit too light for my skin tone at the moment, but I think like in the middle of winter it's fine. But I found this one actually slightly drying on my skin, and again, same problems, sinking into my like face lines and wrinkles, etc., which I actually find with all Revolution foundations. I don't know what they have in common, but they all seem to just sink into my face lines. Like, I think like Revolution generally have like heavier foundations. Same with this one. This is the CC Perfecting foundation from Revolution Pro. So I've actually now got 3 different Revolution brands of foundation on my hand. I thought it'd be quite interesting to compare them as well. This is in F5, so this is even darker than the XX Revolution one. This actually feels the heaviest out of all three. And this one actually does have some SPF in it, I think, so we'll forgive it. Yeah, this one's definitely quite like cakey. So it's at the top there. It's listed as the darkest shade, but as you can probably, does it look dark? It matches my hand quite well, I think. Yeah, that is the darkest. For a second I thought it was lighter than the XX Revolution one, but I don't think it is. Yeah, if it matches my hand, then it's definitely gonna be too dark for my face. But again, that's my bad colour matching skills. That's not the foundation's fault. But yeah, with the Revolution Pro one, you can definitely feel that it's there. Out of all three of those, that's the one that I can feel more. And then lastly, for the Revolution foundations, I've got the Conceal and Hydrate by just normal Revolution. And this one's in 5.7, so I've literally got 4 different shades here, because I am so bad at colour matching myself. This one I found was a little bit better than the Conceal and Define. I think honestly the colour was my main issue because I can't pick my own colour, as I've said many times. But yeah, just the same as the others, sinks into lines, etc. Coverage is always really good. The coverage for Revolution is always really good, and if it doesn't sink into any of your creases, then you're lucky, because I really want to love these foundations. But for me personally, they just don't seem to get on with my skin. Okay, my hand's looking really crazy. So I don't know if you can see, but the lightest one, which is the Conceal and Define, has kind of dried down and like visibly looks dry. So if that was on my face, I would not powder that. And then same with the the XX one. This one has dried down, but it's still like, if you touch it, it will just come straight off. So you literally have to powder it if you want it to stay on your face. And if you brush it on anything, then it's just gonna look patchy. And then the Revolution Pro one also doesn't really dry down that much, but you can touch it. Okay, you can't touch it. Same problem there. Doesn't really dry down. I think it's because it's advertised as like a dewy finish. So I guess they put something in it to stop it from like drying down. But then me personally, I find that they're not as long wearing and they will just like transfer on everything. And then the Conceal and Hydrate here. This one's kind of in between the Conceal and Define and the others, where it dries down a little bit, but then still needs powdering, if that makes any sense at all. Those are the 4 Revolution foundations I have. I do wear them from time to time, but only if I know that I'm not going to be wearing them for that long. You can, I don't know if it's showing on camera, but you can really see how much drier the Conceal and Define one is compared to the others. And because my skin does sometimes get dry, that one for me isn't the most comfortable to wear. So if you have got dry skin, I really would not recommend the Conceal and Define. Okay, so those are the Revolution ones. Yeah, I really wanted to like them, but I just don't get on with them. That's not to say that nobody else gets on with them. I know that there are a lot of people that really love the Revolution foundations, but I just wanted to mention that I don't get on with them with my combination skin, and why. But I really like everything else that Revolution does. Also, I think there were like glitter particles in the XX one, because there's now like glitter on my hand, or there was, now just disappeared. That's really weird. There was definitely glitter on my hand when I washed it off, and now it's gone. Maybe it's like dissolving glitter that they put in the foundation to make it glowy. I don't know. Okay, and lastly for overrated foundations, it's not a Revolution one. This one is actually the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage, and I've seen a lot of YouTubers talking about this one and how much they loved it, and it was pretty much why I picked it up, which just goes to show that social media marketing works. But yeah, I don't know, I just had the same problem. It sinks into lines, isn't that very long wearing, easily transferable, which is not what I want. And also, I think once again, I did pick this up in a couple of shades too dark. I got this in Ivory, which is typically quite a light shade. It does feel nice and creamy and light on my hand though, so I will give it that. I don't think it would apply very well with a brush, because as I'm rubbing it into my skin, it is kind of just like creating lines. But to be fair, if you work with it, it is blending in nicely, I guess. It definitely has perfume in it though. And this one does claim to be 24 hours wear, but I would disagree. Although that colour isn't, actually, that colour looks okay for me now. I guess maybe it was too dark in the winter. I might give that one another go actually, because it doesn't actually look too bad on my hand now that I've said that. I remember not liking it, but I'll give that one another go. Okay, now for like underrated slash foundations that I really like. And I know one of them isn't underrated, but I just wanted to mention it because I really like it. So as you can see, I'm nearly out of this one, but it is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. This one also says up to 24 hours wear, and it does wear really, really well. I just find that it has like a nice finish, like it's a good balance between matte and dewy. I typically like, I think it's called Demi Matte, is it? Oh my god, I've put way too much on. I think it might be called Demi Matte, but that is my ideal finish, and I think that this one has that. Again, I picked this up in a really weird shade. Like it's really... Actually, I was colour matched by the guy on the counter, so this should be my perfect shade. I did get this in November though, so my skin was probably quite a bit paler. Okay, so there it is, blended on my hand. Yeah, it does look a little bit pale at the moment, but probably it'll be fine for me when I'm a little bit less tanned. But I don't know, I just really, really like this one. I don't find that it sinks into my skin. It's very light, like I can't even feel that that's on my hand. And as you can see, it's quite full coverage as well. So it feels light, but it covers everything you want it to. This one is on the pricier side. I think it's like 30-ish pounds, but I got it because it was actually on sale in the Black Friday sale last year. And I'm glad I tried it because I think I will rebuy this one once I'm all out. Although if you want a comparison, I think that shade is quite close to the Conceal and Hydrate one. It's got the same kind of almost yellowy undertone. Almost. Like there's the Revolution one. Can you see that? It's showing up at the same colour on the screen. The Revolution one's there, and then the Urban Decay one's there. So they're very similar. I've got the same undertone by the looks of it. In fact, they look identical. And then this one actually happens to be another high-end one. The Benefit Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation. I've got this in shade 2. And this one also includes SPF, so it's already winning. And I went through a phase of like not liking this because it didn't have much coverage. But then when I came back to it, I decided that it actually did have quite good coverage. Again, another funny shade. This one also has a slight like warm yellowy undertone. I personally don't think I have much of a yellow undertone, but again, I can't match myself, so I might be wrong. But this one, I think it's hard. Like this one and the next one is my favourite by far because it just like blends in so easily. There's no streak marks. You can't really feel that it's there. Like it's a nice light summer foundation in my opinion. It's literally like, okay, so it does dry down quite quickly. So if you put it on your face first, you do have to work quite quick. It's like gonna last for like a really long time. Like it's non-transferable. Like if you compare it to the Urban Decay one, that is kind of like wiping off. Whereas the Benefit one isn't as much. So yeah, I wear it like almost every day. I'm not actually wearing any foundation at the moment. I've got whatever's left of the concealer that I put on this morning, which doesn't look like much. But yeah, I'm not wearing any of these foundations in case you're wondering. And I think that one is around £30 as well. But I have saved the best till last because this one is only £6 and I absolutely love it. It is the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat. I think it comes in a different packaging now. I've had this one for quite a while. I've got this in Creamy Natural, but I also in the summer mix it with the next shade down from it, which I think is just Natural or Natural Beige or something like that. But yeah, this one is, when it comes out the tube, it's more of a mousse sometimes. And this one does feel slightly heavier than the other two, but it has the same like good qualities. Like it's long wearing, blends really easily, and like doesn't at all sink into any of my wrinkles, and you can't even really tell I'm wearing foundation when I wear this. So I've just put it on my wrist. Also, all of these shades seem to be quite similar, so I'm wondering if that's why I prefer them, is because they actually seem to match my face. That is a very real possibility. But yeah, for £6 it does almost the exact same as the Hello Happy, except I can't... Like, I really can't tell the difference between all three of them. I do switch between all three of them just because I have them and I like all of them. These are the three that I wear the most. None of them make my skin feel dry. They don't sink into my smile lines or like forehead creases. I think sometimes they do crease under my eyes, but everything does. Like I've got such prominent lines under my eyes that literally everything will crease. And I think these are all very, very long wearing. Like I go to work for 8 hours, come home, and they're still like very much on my face. Like my makeup will look exactly the same. Like I'll go and play tennis and my makeup will still look identical to how it looked before I went out. So for £6, I think this one definitely wins because it looks very, very similar to the more high-end ones in my opinion. And if I did want to choose one of the high-end ones, I think it would be the Hello Happy, just because it's dried to like a really, really nice skin texture. Like, I don't know how well it picks up on camera, but also I think the light is like overexposing it a bit. But that is everything for my overrated and underrated foundations. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully, I thought I just wiped foundation on my top then. Hopefully you found something that you might want to try. I will try and link everything in the description in case you did want to try one of them out for yourself. But let me know your thoughts. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said, then I'd love to know. But hopefully you did enjoy, and if you did, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!